Welcome back to Just the Facts, the weekly vidcast from factcheck.org. I'm Emmy Kalawale, and this week we're going to talk about Bosnia. Specifically, a trip Senator Clinton took there in 1996 and the false claims she made in 2008 about landing under sniper fire during her visit. First, some background. In March 1996, First Lady Hillary Clinton, along with daughter Chelsea, musician Sheryl Crow, comedian Sinbad, and a handful of reporters flew to Tuzla, Bosnia, to visit U.S. troops and distribute gifts to the local residents. At the time, the AP described the trip as being a grueling goodwill tour, and one that made Clinton the first presidential spouse since Eleanor Roosevelt to make such an extensive trip into what can be considered a hostile area. The AP went on to report that security was tight and fighter jets accompanied Clinton's C-17 cargo plane, but that the First Lady took no extraordinary risks on the trip. 7 years later, Clinton described the trip in her book, Living History, writing that, "Due to reports of snipers in the hills around the airstrip, we were forced to cut short an event on the tarmac with local children, though we did have time to meet them and their teachers. One 8-year-old girl gave me a copy of a poem she had written." Fast forward to the 2008 presidential race, when the Clinton campaign claimed that her trip to Bosnia, along with other travels, served as proof of her considerable foreign policy experience. Then, on March 17th, 12 years after her trip to Bosnia, Clinton gave a speech on the Iraq War at George Washington University, where what she had called reports of snipers turned into something very different. "I remember landing under sniper fire," Clinton said. "There was supposed to be some kind of greeting ceremony at the airport, but instead we just ran with our heads down to get into the vehicles to get to our base." Wow, actual gunfire, canceled greeting ceremonies. It all sounds so dramatic and like a gross overstatement. And it's not the first time Clinton has exaggerated the circumstances of her trip there. In February 2008, Clinton claimed that the welcoming ceremony had to be moved inside due to sniper fire. And in fact, this CBS footage of Clinton's 1996 trip to Tuzla proves that there was no actual sniper fire, no duck and cover running, plenty of time for a greeting ceremony, and even enough time for the poem Clinton mentioned in her book. So was Clinton lying? As we've said before, we're not lie check. It's clear, though, that she did embellish the narrative quite a bit. When asked about her March 17th speech in light of the CBS footage, Clinton said, "Look, I made a mistake. And, I had a different memory. So I made a mistake. That happened. It proves I'm human, which, for some people is a revelation." It's not a revelation to us, but we agree. Candidates are human, and they're not above making exaggerations. So don't be too quick to take what a candidate says at face value, especially when they're in a hotly contested race for the White House. Clinton has puffed up other travel tales, like when she said she negotiated open borders during her trip to Macedonia, when the borders opened the day before she got there. And that's it for this episode of Just the Facts. For more on Clinton's world travels, be sure to check out our website at www.factcheck.org. I'm Emmy Kalawale. Thanks for watching, and see you next week.